With digital sustainability and circularity increasingly becoming a mainstream topic on brands and retailers' agendas, we're here today to understand the importance of RFID in helping businesses achieve their sustainability goals and targets. I'm Jimmy Christopher, the Group Sustainability Officer at ITL, and joining me to discuss this is my colleague Stuart Plimsoll and Karen Fabry, VP of Marketing at Tagios, RFID inlay manufacturer. Before we get started, just some quick introductions. Stu?
Hi, Jimmy. Hi, Corin. It's great to be here today to discuss a very important topic. I've been involved in RFID for almost 5 years now. And as Jimmy mentioned, I'm the RFID project manager at ITL Group, and I support the retailers in their RFID journeys.
Hi, Jimmy. Hi, Stuart. Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm the VP of Marketing at Tagios, and I'm very happy to join today's discussion. As you can imagine, Tagios, let's say, initial foundation back to 2007 was really very much focused on paper-based inlays, RFID technology. So very happy to support the talk today and talk about how sustainability can help RFID acceleration.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. So RFID's traditional role has been for inventory management with a focus on the direct financial benefits. But how can it benefit retailers from a sustainability point of view when it is used to its full potential? Maybe Stu, we'll start with you.
Thanks, Jimmy. Yeah, I think it's important to note that, as you mentioned, RFID is not only about saving money and improving sales and increasing sales. It's also about the environment, and RFID is something that can assist us with that. One of the first topics would be waste reduction. RFID gives you greater stock accuracy and stock visibility throughout your supply chain, and ultimately bringing your stock accuracy up to 99% accuracy allows you to have better stock management. So simply put, you can reduce your buffer stock. You don't need as much safety stock throughout your supply chain and in stores. And essentially, it gives you a lot of data. RFID gives you data that you can use to improve your forecasting, looking at historical data. This has a lot of benefits throughout the supply chain. A lot of waste is a lot of clothing that never actually gets sold, and you can see at the bottom there, approximately 30% of all clothes made around the world are never actually sold. So RFID allows retailers to actually produce what is required rather than overconsumption. So we've seen a lot of benefits in RFID with that.
And then from a carbon footprint perspective?
Yeah, so carbon footprint is another big one. RFID reduces the carbon footprint. This again comes down to forecasting and better stock management and visibility for the retailer. But essentially, it comes down to on-shelf availability, and availability is key when it comes to a retailer. And RFID unlocks and sort of omni-channel retailing or omni-channel functionality, and by having the stock in the correct stores, this essentially reduces the journeys for retailers, so they don't have to transport stock around as much. They can essentially move from a push system to a pull system, so the stores become micro DCs, and they actually start pulling the stock that's required to make sales. It also reduces the journeys for the consumers, because they know where the stock is now, and the retailer can actually convert or fulfill those sales from different micro DCs, whether it be ship from store or buy online, pick up in store. Walmart, this is a great case study where essentially Walmart, by having greater stock accuracy achieved through RFID, it allowed a reduction in about 100,000 customer journeys a day. And that's over 80,000 metric tons of carbon dioxide per year. So it's a huge amount.
Yeah, that's a significant amount. Just to show you what efficiency can do. Karen, there are also benefits in terms of the carbon footprint of the manufacturing of the RFID itself and Tagios's manufacturing processes. Can you maybe just elaborate a bit on this?
Yes, certainly. So we are at Tageos, we are looking at the whole framework of sustainability in RFID. And as we are committed and also have released defined initiatives in the company, such as the product lifecycle assessments, and our own company being fully applicable to ISO standards, which are the sustainability and environmental standards from ISO certifications. Yeah, you can also that from a company perspective. Then if you go down to the product level, you look at the different materials that you use, biodegradable materials, but then you look at also the processes, how you produce the products. You look at the locations that you have. Different locations, different regions have different standards. So it's different when it comes to electricity consumption, etc. And third point, we are also looking at sustainable and different business models, how to support RFID as a whole, like reusing materials and product recirculation, for example. So it's a kind of a framework of the ecosystem we have created from the very beginning, and it's gonna, let's say, develop further on. Yeah.
100%. I think you're spot on like that. You do have to look at where your plants are located,
Exactly.
and what will have the biggest impact for you in those regions. 100%.
Exactly. Yeah.
Enabling transparency along the supply chains is undoubtedly where we're trying to go in the fashion industry. But to do this, I think we need to leverage the power of technology, and RFID is one such technology. So how can it act as an enabler for transparency and traceability? Stu?
Yeah, Jimmy, RFID is becoming very important in this part of retail, and transparency and visibility and traceability has become a critical factor for retailers, and consumers are demanding that kind of information. They want to know, where's the product made, how was it made, was it used, was it manufactured responsibly in an ethical manner, and essentially RFID is the digital fingerprint of the garment. And especially tagging at source, or at needle point as we call it, you've got that data and that visibility throughout the supply chain, and it's a lot of shared information. So you can essentially share that with all the stakeholders throughout the supply chain, yeah, it improves your recyclability. So again, that comes to circularity, and we'll discuss that just now. But having a closed loop and with regards to garments is very important to make sure that it's recycled, and it is a tool for change. So it forces and encourages change throughout the supply chain. And essentially, with greater transparency and visibility, it improves your quality along all of the supply points, and you've got visibility to that.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I think all these areas are so relevant for the current direction that we see the fashion industry heading towards. Overconsumption is obviously one of the biggest challenges that we face, and RFID can really help to tackle that. But another important aspect that we briefly touched on earlier is that the RFID technology itself is becoming more sustainable. Karen, from the manufacturing point of view, could you also tell us a bit more about this and Tageos' Zero program?
Yes, sure. So at Tageos, we have established the Zero program to really tackle sustainable factors in that, what I previously also called the ecosystem. We have established the program in different steps. Let's say there's, of course, I mean, based on Tageos initial, let's say, core IP and core competencies. Yeah, there is a lot of that we can put on the table from that perspective on paper-based inlays from the very beginning of the company. And the program, today we call it the Zero program, with latest developments here on the product side. They have certain standards, and these standards also have developed over the past years. So we are, as it also you can see here, we are 100% committed to the highest ecological standards and actions. So for the program itself, we look at the different layers of the inlays. We look at the material that we are using. We look at the performance of the inlays also versus the sustainability level. So we try really to bring the utmost of sustainability and still keep highest level of performance and product quality. So in that regard, there are many of course providers in that sense, and then you have to look at the details of the life cycle in the products, and you look at heavy metals that are maybe used, you look at conflict minerals that are used in the inlays, and it's maybe not worth for one inlay, but if you look at the tons of inlays being produced, then it really makes a big difference here to the product, to the final product itself and the tag.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, we have to consider all aspects of this. As we know, sustainability can be embedded into everything, and it's good that we can use this technology to make ourselves more sustainable, but we also have to make the technology more sustainable. But looking forward in this dynamic landscape, what do you think is next for RFID and its links with sustainability? Is it limited to this supply chain? What other sectors are quite well suited to incorporating RFID? Maybe Stu?
Yeah, Jimmy, just a point to add on the sustainability. The latest generation ICs, or the chips, integrated circuits, have been released quite recently. They're smaller and higher performing, and we've noticed much more sensitivity and improved privacy modes and that kind of stuff. But essentially, we can now, it unlocks new use cases for RFID, but it also allows us to reduce the material consumption per tag, so you can actually have a smaller tag and get the same performance, which is really important as well. Yeah, I think going forward, it's not only fashion retail that's using RFID. There's many other industries and sectors. We've seen some, especially on environmental side, and reducing waste on foods and cosmetics, health and beauty. On the food side, some grocery stores are trialing and looking at RFID, and especially on high value perishable items, meats, vegetables, that kind of stuff. So it's, yeah, essentially embedding the RFID chip with dates to ensure that the items don't expire and you can actually bring them forward before expiry, because a lot of food also ends up in landfill. So there's a lot of use cases for RFID in that space as well.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many opportunities, certainly. You can find out more information by reading our white paper, 4 Ways RFID Can Make Retailers More Sustainable, which is available on our website. Thank you so much for your guys' time today. I really do appreciate having you on here to chat.
Thanks, Jimmy. Yeah, it was great to be here. Thanks, Corin, and look forward to hopefully seeing you guys soon.
Thank you too, Jimmy and Stuart. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.